If your news feed hasn't been flooded yet, or your social media filled with all these women talking about some Lindsay Clarkson yet, let me fill you in on something. Recently, a mother, or former mother, named Lindsay Clarkson made big news for strangling her three young kids to death. And the entire situation is truly sickening and disgusting and infuriating as hell. This is the most infuriated I have ever been by a case in a while. Not only is the actual events of this case sickening, but it's how some people are reacting to it, trying to justify it. So, if you don't know, Lindsay Clarkson was a woman going through postmortem depression and psychosis. And this caused some mental complications. And I could totally understand all these women supporting her, rallying behind her, if she hadn't killed her children. If she was just a woman going through some tough times and needs some support from people, I could totally understand people supporting her. But she killed her children. So she went through a somewhat of a psychotic episode from what I'm hearing, and she strangled her three young children to death with a resistance band, an exercise band. The youngest one, which was only 8 months old, got strangled so hard, so much pressure that the brain tried to exit from the bottom of the head or something. I don't know the exact details, but it is sickening. It is disgusting. So how are people taking this? More often than not, actually, very openly, I have seen dozens, if not hundreds, of people rallying behind her like she's some hero, some inspiring figure, a child murderer. And mind you, a lot of the people that are supporting her, trying to justify her actions, are the same people that are trying to impeach Trump for being a pedophile. And for the record, I don't like Trump either, and there's definitely enough evidence pointing to him being a pedophile. But these same people are trying to bring Trump down because he's a pedophile, not openly, but there's evidence pointing to it. And yet they are supporting a child murderer, someone who murdered their children, which is just as bad as pedophilia. And she confessed to it. It hasn't been openly confirmed quite yet that Trump is a pedophile, but this woman confessed to it. She fully owned up to her decisions. There is enough evidence pointed to her being the killer. And they still support her. They have raised a whopping $1 million, possibly even more, for her for murdering her children. Here I am working a part-time job, making $15 an hour, and then there's this woman that murders her three children and makes millions. Are we serious? Excuse me if I act like a bit of a jerk, a bit of an asshole in this video, but that's genuinely how infuriated I am of this. They are treating her like she's the victim, even though the children are the victims. Like, they're completely. It doesn't seem like anyone is mourning the children, mourning this loss. No one seems disgusted by it. They seem like this is some big historical event, some big breakthrough. A woman murdering her children. And let me tell you something. If it were a man who did this, if it were the husband who did this, the story would be completely different. There wouldn't be anyone clamoring or rallying behind him. They would want him dead. They would call him a monster. There would be people with pitchforks trying to have him dead before he even got a chance to get onto trial. And speaking of, surprisingly, and even more infuriatingly, probably the most infuriating aspect of this, there are people that are trying to blame Patrick, the husband, for this whole ordeal. Lindsay confessed to it, and yet they're blaming him. And for what? They're saying, "Oh, he was a bad husband. Oh, he coerced her into doing this. He made her do it." What? Do you hear yourselves? The court said that she did it. She said that she did it. There is evidence that she did it. And you want to point your fingers at the husband? The man who seems to be grieving the most about this, the man who just had his three beautiful young children taken from him, and you're blaming it on him, and for what? For what? No, genuinely. What? It's been confirmed that she did it. And you want to look at him? And you want to point your fingers at him? He's the killer for some reason? Does it make you guys feel better about yourselves? You just can't bring yourselves to admit that this woman is a killer? Are you serious? Like, my God, it truly baffles me that we have to explain to people why child murder is bad. It truly baffles me that we are living in a world where people try to justify child murders. These same people that criticize Trump supporters for supporting a quote unquote pedophile, dismissing his actions, and yet they're dismissing the actions of an open child murderer. Like, maybe these are on different levels, different scales, because she's a mother, Trump's a politician. Let's not bring Trump into this. I don't like Trump for the record. I'm not trying to justify anything with him, but Lindsay, like, what the hell? What the hell are we doing? The people lining up outside of her court, rallying like she's some saint, some inspiring figure. Okay, so you're aspiring to be a child murderer. Cool. And I've seen some women online seeing themselves in her and potentially planning on harming their own children. And I'm like, is everyone these days crazy? Are we serious? I'm surrounded by a bunch of psychos. Like, and there's another one. There's another post that I saw that said, "Oh, she did it out of self-defense. That Patrick trained his children to attack her, and she was doing it out of self-defense." That sounds like something from a South Park episode. This entire situation, all these women justifying a child murderer because she's one of us. This sounds like something from a fucking South Park episode. We are living in a South Park episode. I swear to God, our modern landscape is starting to look more and more like that show every single day. Like, as baffling as these situations are, as absurd and hard to believe as they become, they're real. People actually think this way. People actually think that mental issues is an excuse for murdering your children. Yes, there were some contributing factors. Maybe she was failed by the system. Maybe she didn't have a great relationship with her husband, but that does not justify killing three innocent children who did nothing to her. And the poor husband has to deal with all these hecklers, all these conspiracy theorists and psychos trying to just bring him down for what reason but to make themselves feel better about themselves, to make Lindsay seem like a saint, make her seem innocent, and the actual innocent person seem like they're the guilty one, even though she has already pled guilty herself. The case is still going on. Maybe some new stuff might be revealed, but it is disgusting. Lindsay is like, I won't deny she had some issues. She had it rough. But that doesn't mean you should take it out on your damn children. Maybe she was having a psychotic episode, but she killed them. I cannot wait till she inevitably gets sentenced and we see all these people online and and people out rallying and protesting, saying, "Free Lindsay Clarkson! Free Lindsay Clarkson! Let her free!" I've seen people online that say that they do believe she killed them. There are people that agree that she killed them and still rally behind her, still support her. This is like, those people are fucking Neanderthals. I am sorry, but that's, where has Christ gone? Where has morality gone? Where has sensibility run off to? Because it sure isn't the minds of these people trying to justify a fucking child murderer. And I am at a loss for words at this situation. It truly pisses me off. This is the angriest you'll ever see me in one of these videos, at least up to this point, because if it escalates and people all of a sudden start targeting the husband even more, oh my god, I am like, this channel isn't really for politics, but I had to get this off my chest. This is infuriating. This is ridiculous. It is sickening. Like, if it were a man that did this, and we have seen cases like this in the past, where husbands, fathers, have murdered their 3 children, and they've been called monsters for it. No one supports them. But when a woman does it, all of a sudden she's a hero. And now more people are taking after her. Now more women are aspiring in her image. This is genuinely concerning. There are people out there saying that, oh, I don't trust you. I don't feel safe around you if you try to stand against Lindsay Clarkson. I don't feel safe around a child murderer. That is common sense to say child murder is bad. I don't understand why I have to explain why child murder is bad and a child murderer should be punished nowadays. That is common sense. Yes, there's more to it, but the facts are plain and simple. She killed them, and she shall be punished accordingly. I don't know what else to say on this situation. It is fucking ridiculous. And it's just really just representative of how morally twisted the modern mind has become in so many people, especially in the US. We have seen it in so many cases, but this one I feel is the biggest example because it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel, this feels like a joke, like a skit you would see on South Park. But no, it's real. And it's sickening. Absolutely disgusting. And I hope to God these people find sensibility, find the help they need, find Christ or whatever may help them to realize that what they're doing, what they're standing for, is truly sickening and twisted. And I can say that for a lot of things, for a lot of politicians and supporters of said politicians, but in this case, it's ever apparent how twisted these people have become. Be mad at me if you want. Call me an asshole, call me a jerk for not understanding the mental strain that Lindsay Clarkson had to get through. That is not an excuse for murdering your children. Like, this video has just become a rant on why child murder is bad. The fact that I have to explain that, the fact that we have to explain that to people is just baffling beyond measure. These cult-like Neanderthals trying to trying to justify and idolize a killer. What? Huh? Y'all need Jesus, dear God. I've wasted my energy a bit on this video, and the bottom line is Lindsay Clarkson is a killer, Patrick is innocent, and people need to stop justifying child murder. It's child murder, and you're treating the killer like the victim. Okay, so can we look at Jeffrey fucking Dahmer and call him the victim because he had mental issues? No. Oh, so the people that he murdered and boiled in a vat of acid are not the victims? He is? Huh? Is that what you're trying to get at? Is that what this is? I'm trying to think of something else, another killer I could bring up in this conversation, but honestly, no matter what I say regarding this, I feel like people are just too stubborn, hard-headed, and delusioned to realize how twisted their own views are because they are not willing to admit their wrongs, nor nor the wrongs of another woman who openly expressed what she did wrong. Lindsay Clarkson is no hero. She is a killer. Yes, she had mental issues, but that doesn't change the fact that she killed three beautiful, innocent souls that you are all neglecting in favor of the killer herself. Are we serious? Are we? This feels like a joke. I wish that I could just go to bed tonight and wake up and realize I just had a South Park induced nightmare. But no, this is real, and honestly, if I see this on South Park, I will not be surprised. This feels like some absurd political cartoon about people blind fanaticism, but it's real. And honestly, I don't want to draw it out any longer. Just know that for all us sensible bunch that know what's right in this situation, ignore fan- all the fanatics, all the cult-like supporters of this woman. Let them do their thing and let them reap the consequences and whatever. That's not our problem. But if this becomes more widespread, it could become a greater problem. And that's this is not only disgusting or sickening, it's just sad. It's just depressing to see how morally twisted people have become. And like again, this isn't the only case where we've seen this, but this is definitely the biggest example I've seen in the last few weeks. So do with this what you will. If you're pissed at me for what I've kind of stated here, ramble off in the comments. I don't care. You can think whatever you want, but at the same time, if you think child murder is justifiable, you're a fucking Neanderthal. I am sorry.